I think you'd better change your mind, Morris, because I'll be watching you. And if you put 1 foot wrong, you'll be surprised how hard I can make things. Oh, and by the way, it doesn't matter how nasty your playmates become. I don't scare easily. Think it over.
You wouldn't be trying to avoid me now, would you?
Of course not. Why should I?
You got any more bets for me from the other blocks yet?
Not yet.
What's the hold-up?
No, hold up.
Listen, Linda, I wouldn't like you to cross me. Even the great B. Smith couldn't get away with that. I took care of her, and I'll take care of anyone else who gets in my way. You're working for me now.
Look, all I want to do is to serve my sentence and get out of here. I don't want any trouble. I'm running book for you. No problems.
Good. Keep it that way. Now, what I need is money, and fast. I'm offering really good odds, and the women are starting to come round. In a few more days, they'll all be betting with me. And with B. Smith and solitary, there's no one to cause me any trouble. Except Lizzie and Judy. And they're no problem. Oh, by the way, you seem to be pretty chummy with those two in the rec room. Just remember whose side you're on.
Oh, Mr. Fletcher, how's Danny?
Oh, he's fine. He's all settled in now, gents.
I'm really grateful. I hope you're getting on all right.
Well, it'll probably take him a little while to learn to relax with me.
He's probably feeling a bit shy. But once you two get to know each other, you'll get on real well. If I do say it myself, he's a good boy. Great fun to have around. Give him my love, will you?
Yes, of course I will.
Anyhow, I promised Tracy I'd have a word with Bea. She's scared to death about what Bea'd do to her when she gets out of solitary.
She ought to be scared to death the way Bea feels about drugs.
She didn't know she was carrying drugs. She thought it was gold.
Do you reckon she's telling the truth?
Yes, I do. You know what makes it worse? She was set up by someone she thought loved her.
Poor little kid.
Yeah, and all day long Vera's at her. She never leaves her alone for a minute.
I tell you what we'll do. We'll stick around her so that old Vinegar Tits can't get at her. Don't you worry, Jude. We'll look after her.
We'll look after her, you stupid old bugger. You couldn't look after a sick cat. Oh!
What did you say that for?
What's the problem?
No problem. We was just talking.
Well, let's have a little less talk and a little more work. You okay, Burns?
Yes. Must be nice having a screw in your pocket door. Next thing you know, they'll be bringing you breakfast to bed.
Shut up, you old bag.
Doreen.
You get your hands off me too, you pervert. You don't care about me, any of you. I could just fall down dead and none of you'd even notice. I'm just stupid bloody Doreen and nobody gives a damn.
Burns.
Except you lousy screws, and you stick to me like a bad smell.
Burns, that's enough.
What are you staring at?
All right, ladies, back to work.
Door.
Did he make any specific threats?
No, just that I should leave Morris alone or I'd be sorry.
Well, you are going to tell the police.
Well, Inspector Grace will be in this afternoon. Naturally enough, I'll tell him, but it doesn't particularly worry me.
I wouldn't take it too lightly if I were you, Vera. I mean, there's some pretty tough customers in the drug game.
I suppose so, but I still think it's her father. He made quite a scene with me yesterday. Seems to think his daughter should be treated with kid gloves.
He questioned me about her treatment, too. I must admit he was pretty upset, but... Oh, honestly, Vera, do you think he's the type to make threats like that?
It wouldn't surprise me if he was in it right up to his neck.
Are you giving her a hard time, Vera?
Oh, really, Meg? I don't think even you could object to my trying to convince her to help the police.
Well, it's not really your job.
Look, that's my business. You just take care of your own job.
Look, why don't you let the police handle it? It could be dangerous.
Look, it's going to take more than a phone call to frighten me.
Why are you following me?
I'm just making sure you're all right.
I am all right. Just don't need you following me. Sick of it. Everywhere I go, somebody behind me. All of you.
Settle down, Burns.
All I'm saying is, I've just had enough, that's all. I'm getting real sick of it. I want you to stop it. You hear me? Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! I want you to stop it! Leave me alone! I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, may I see you for a moment, Mrs. Davidson?
Certainly, Meg. Problem?
Well, yes. It's Doreen.
I gave strict instructions she was not to be left alone. What happened?
Oh, she's all right. Well, physically, anyway. But mentally, well, frankly, I think she's close to a breakdown.
Oh, dear. I was afraid of something like this. Oh, sit down, Meg. Sorry.
I could be wrong, but I think we've got to stop having Doreen watched so closely.
But surely if she's so badly disturbed, it's all the more reason for having her watched.
Well, I just walked in on a scene between her and Officer Maguire. Doreen was completely hysterical. And from what I can gather, it was this feeling of being hounded and watched all the time that triggered it off.
Well, if you're right, at least we should make the guard on her less obvious. But I certainly wouldn't feel confident about removing it entirely. Oh, dear. I wish Paul Reed was still here. I'm just not quite so sure how to handle it. I'm afraid we might end up doing more harm than good.
Well, perhaps we should call Dr. Wiseman in.
Well, if there's no immediate improvement, we'll have to.
And a very good morning to you, ladies. Now that the kids are off to school and the breakfast dishes are done, well, at least we hope they are. Come.
So she still hasn't told you anything more?
No, not yet. But she will, eventually.
Well, someone's worried about her. I got a phone call last night warning me to leave her alone.
Did you indeed?
Well, there's no need to look so pleased about it. I don't like being threatened.
No, of course not. But look, don't you see the pressure you're applying must be working? They're running scared, otherwise they wouldn't bother to warn you off.
Yes, I suppose you're right.
You're a good worker, Miss Bennett. I'll make sure you're mentioned in my report.
Glad to help. Now, is there any more word on her father's possible involvement?
No, we haven't come up with anything.
Well, if you ask me, I think he's got something to hide. He was in here yesterday and he put on quite a turn about my questioning his daughter.
Well, that's interesting. I think we'll keep a closer eye on Mr. Morris. Well, keep up the good work, Miss Bennett. I'm sure she'll crack soon. And, look, you're not worried about that phone call, eh?
No, it takes more than that to frighten me.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, I'll be in again tomorrow, so if anything should happen, you know where to reach me.
Strike a light. It's like a morgue in here.
I think I've come up with something, Lizzie.
Oh, well, at least you're talking to me. I thought I was in here alone.
Listen, a lot of people are still against Kay, right?
Oh, I wouldn't be too sure of that.
Okay, but a lot are. And most people are afraid to cross B, right?
I guess so. So what?
Well, we get the women to pool their money, and then we lay a really big bet with Kay. When the horse wins, it'll break the bank. She'll be finished. She won't be able to pay up.
God, it's an awful risk, Jude. Supposing we lose?
Well, Margot's pretty good at picking horses, isn't she?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Oh, come on. If she wasn't, she would have been out of business a long time ago.
Yeah?
Well, Margot will pick us a horse. It's simple.
But how can she? Margot's still in the pound.
Yeah, well,